fight your fucking ass.
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park.
There's a little snake in the grass.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
No forget Jesus, people.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I'm back.
Who the fuck is that guy? Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
I would like to introduce...
And we're back. The MMAforMoney Show, episode 82. Like the hands on a Rolex watch, we just don't stop. I am your host, Mike Copenhaver, at Don't Cope Just Win on Twitter. I'm joined by my co-host and producer and good friend T, at Saints_504 on Twitter. Give him a shout out when you can. How you doing, T?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad to be here. Back for another one.
We appreciate all you guys being here with us. We got 37 live viewers now. I'd like to say hello to Lynn over there in Calgary. Appreciate you always tuning in and supporting the MMAforMoney show. Hello to Jamie Birch over there. Appreciate you as always. We're stoked to be here to talk about some UFC. Last weekend was a little underwhelming in my opinion, but we'll still, it is what it is. It's sometimes MMA is the greatest things, and sometimes it's one of the things that you wish you didn't watch, but it is what it is. Hello, Justin over there from Vancouver. Love you, brother. Appreciate you always supporting me through everything. Jackie girl, every single one of you guys supporting us live. So, last weekend we had UFC Vegas 22, Holland versus Brunson. And man, I'm going to say right off the bat, prelims, my first bet, JP Bays versus Bruno Silva. I couldn't have been more wrong, man. I'm absolutely disgusted with the fact that JP Bays didn't use his wrestling. He's a Greco-Roman wrestler, didn't even try at all. Bruno Silva coming off of 2 losses, looking like the vet he did. He came through there. So unfortunately, I lost that bet, and that was negative 1.45 units. But it just is what it is, man. Props to Bruno Silva on that one.
It was that kind of night, dude. That's the kind of night I went.
Yeah, it was definitely that kind of night. And hello to Ryan Richardson over there, our sponsor from Kansas City. Shout out to one of the best barbecue states in the world and one of the best fishermen. Kick Your Bass. Go follow him for some good fishing material. So, yeah, like I said, last week it started off a little rocky, like I said, because of the loss. One thing that I'll touch on that happened was Julius Dolorenko. If you guys didn't see it, go take a look at herself on the weigh-ins. She was literally in such bad health. She literally collapsed on the scale, fell backwards into the wall, and they ended up having to cancel that fight with her and Julia Avila. If you ask me, that was God's grace for her and her angels and everyone in heaven giving her a pass of an ace beating, because Julia Avila was absolutely just going to devastate her and punish her. So I hope she is fine and okay and safe. But like I said, that fight got just pushed pretty quickly. Did you happen to see that, T?
Yeah, I saw it before the what was the weigh-in, Friday or Thursday?
The Friday
when they weigh in. Friday. I saw it after the weigh-in, but I thought about maybe going to bet against it, but Avila was already such a favorite. I was like, man, I'm not gonna mess with that. He was gonna get suckered in with stuff like that anyway.
Yeah, at a negative 360 price tag at the time, in women's MMA, no disrespect to women, I love ladies, but when women's MMA negative 360 warrants a price tag where they absolutely smashed the person. But next up on the fight card, was a Jesse Strader, who was a massive underdog, plus 500 versus Montel Jackson, who came in at a negative 700. And man, did Montel Jackson look like a negative 700 when he fought here. He looked absolutely amazing. He used his reach, and he just put him down and ended his night real fast. So definitely people who parlayed him, people that have had the balls to put down negative 700 to make 100, or whatever you did to make money on Montel Jackson, props to you. Like I said, I didn't touch it, didn't have any part of it. Kind of wish, I maybe did the under on that one because it was so simple. But
he got him with those bird legs.
Yeah, those chicken legs I was talking about, bro. And Malarkey, or his opponent, Strader, came out with some kicks, and he actually he thought about implementing that game plan, but Montel Jackson was way too much. It was just so far of an experience gap that he just It was what it was. So that one, Montel Jackson finished him quite quickly. The next up on the card was Roman Doldiz. He was negative 135 at the time versus Trevin Giles plus 115. Oh man, this one on Twitter, everyone was going back and forth between who won this one and did Doldiz do enough to finish to win. I personally thought Giles won because I saw three. I was a little disappointed in Doldiz's urgency and volume. That was my opinion, but I know that T over there was a little pissed off that that Doltiz didn't get the W.
Yeah, I took him live. I felt like he got him late in third, but I mean, it wasn't the greatest fight anyway, so it is what it is. When you leave it to the judges, that's how it goes.
Yeah, and I just want to
can't really cry about it too much,
No, you can. And I just want to say a shout out to Jason Prime MMA for Money himself in the chat. Always nice to have the legend himself here. If you guys also listen to the podcast every week, I tell you about the NASCAR packages, about my boy Prime MMA for Money. Killed it again. Algier plus 1,400, folks. $1,400 off 100.
If he doesn't win, it usually hits second. The racer runs second or third or something.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous at the rate that my boy MMA for Money wins. I mean, I'm not joking. Go get yourself a NASCAR package. I will promise you, it'll pay for your Christmas. It'll pay for your bat's mitzvah. It will pay for your wife's wedding ring. It paid to help pay for my fiance's ring. You can go look at it. It's a nice one. So, make sure you go to MMAforMoney.com. Get that NASCAR subscription. There's also other sports he kills in, but my number one thing that MMA for Money does is he absolutely kills NASCAR. He's the NASCAR king. I'll put anything down that my boy Prime will wreck everyone.
Yeah, he's the GOAT NASCAR.
Absolute GOAT. So shout out to MMA for Money for the plus 1,400 weekend he had for us. If it wasn't for the plus $1,400 that MMA for Money won for the MMA for Money team, we would have had not as nice of a weekend because my bets this weekend fell a little bit short. So we'll get into that as it goes on. I also want to thank my sponsor, Melon Brand Hats. This hat that I'm wearing right now is the new neon that they just dropped. It sold out in 23 hours. They sold out every single one of them.
Yeah, I can't wait to get mine.
It's absolutely amazing. So I've known Melon Brand Company since I was I've known Mick D, the owner of Melon Brand, since I was 13 years old. He talked about this luxury hat line as a kid. He told me that, man, I'm going to have this hat line one day with the most exclusive, most beautiful luxury line linens and fabrics. I always believed in him. He's one of the best people. So shout out to Brian McDonald, one of the owners of Melon Brand Hats, MELIN Brand Hats. Go over there, look at his stuff. It is absolutely phenomenal. You'll have nothing flyer than the Melon Brand Hats. So shout out to them real fast because you gotta shout those people out who give you love, So next up on the card after Doldiz lost that to Giles, Grant Dawson versus fought Leonardo Santos. And man, this was a late bet edition that I had. I felt like Leonardo Santos being on a 5-fight win streak in the UFC, fighting all the veterans in the UFC that he had. I thought that he had enough to withstand Grant Dawson and to win the decision. And I can't tell you how well I thought he did for about 2 rounds. And then in the third round, he looked like me when I was 17. And I told my girl that I was coming for round 2. I promise you round 2's coming, baby. And round 3 came for him, and he didn't do anything. He did nothing. He flopped on his back like a fish and accepted missionary style. It was disgusting. So that was a negative 1 unit loss on the OG Santos. It is what it is. I'd like to say hello to Pablo De La Hoya from the Haps team. Absolutely incredible dude. He's responsible for Haps being what it is. Him, David Newman, ex-Disney TV television president, who's an absolutely stud. Peter Bittner. There's so many people that I could thank on Haps that make this possible. We got the best community in the world here on Haps. We're taking over every single platform. If you aren't on Haps, I don't know where you are, but it ain't for having fun here. So just shout out to, like I said, the Haps team for making it possible for the MMA for Money show to go live, for me and my boy T to just spit it on the mic and just go crazy. So like I said, Leonardo Santos got absolutely smashed by Grant Dawson in round 3. Round 3, 1 second left, folks. 1 second. 1 second. He could have kicked sideways. He could have rolled over. He could have like done a somersault. He could have closed his eyes and done anything in just to last a couple seconds. But you know what he did? You know what he did? He took a nap on a bed like a Casper pillow or a Casper mattress. It was disgusting. I was so disgusted. I was actually happy that he got knocked out with 1 second left after the display of what he did. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, next up on the card, finally, is a W for us. I took Macy Chiasson. I told you, she's fighting a 43-year-old woman. She was basically fighting her mom. You know, it was an easy win. I mean, mix it up. Do something. It's so frustrating when you see these fighters. They have someone damaged on the feet. Their advantage is on the feet, right? And then they go in for a takedown. What are you going in for a takedown for? You're a striker. You're beating him up. And you're gonna try to take him down. What is the fight IQ on some of these people? This is why lower class women's MMA I try not to get involved in. I'm very glad that
they can't fight their instincts, bro. That's what it is. Like
you know,
you get in there under the lights and you get the adrenaline going, and it just
I don't know. I don't quite know what it is. I don't want people to think I'm sexist. I'm not. I love women. I love all women. I like flowers. They're like flowers to me. Like there's a rose, there's a lily, there's a daisy, there's a gladiola, there's a hydrangea. There's all these pretty flowers. You're all beautiful to me, all right? These women right here, these ones were dumb. They're just dumb, okay? They didn't know how to. I don't get it. But either way, I'll take the win. So +1 unit for the MMA4Money team to get me some money back. So it brought me to negative 145. So negative $45 for the 2 show picks. You know, it is what it is after winning $360 for you guys last week. But like I said, some of these people's urgency is just ridiculous, man. I can't stress it enough, like the volume and the lack of urgency when they have these guys hurt. I want to thank all 240 people that are tuning in live to the MMA4Money show. We can't do anything without you guys. The reason why we've grown so big and became what we are is because I love every single one of my fans and friends. This is a family. This is a team. That's why we call it the MMA4Money team. There ain't no room for quitters. There ain't no room for people who want to just sit down and be shitters. All right. So me and my boy T are here to be live in effect and just keep this thing going, baby. So now we got the main card of the UFC Vegas 22. It was Cheyenne Bays, which I was correct. That was JP Bay's wife. She fought Mazerat Ruiz, who was +290, folks.
This fight was terrible to watch.
Okay.
Absolutely terrible.
Listen, I hope you guys will have video.
I got some clips.
The most disgusting display of mixed martial arts. It should never be rewarded for a head and arm throw. It shouldn't. Follow her home, bro. You're gonna follow that Mexican chick home. I don't know if you know. I'm from Los Angeles. You don't want none of them East Los fools, all right? I'm just letting you know. Stay peaceful. You go to East Los, you eat those tacos. Have respect. Keep your eyes down when you go over there, Cheyenne Bays, whatever you want to say. You know, you got outclassed. That fight sucked. Both those fighters fired. They both shouldn't be in the UFC. I don't care if I get crap for it. They both suck.
I did see on Twitter. I think they said that she said that she spit on her, and that's why she was saying all that. But I don't know if that's true or not. This might just be an excuse she came up with after.
Spitting at the highest level is so unprofessional that I definitely, if she spit on her, then I totally understand the aggressionness of back and forth. But I didn't see any spit. I saw some trash talking in the face, and it's MMA. So, but the point is that we're all people. You don't need to spit in people's face. We're here to you're here to love each other. We're here to pass good vibes. If I go down the street and I have my face down and I'm all grumpy and mean, I pass that energy along to people. It's stupid, bro. Don't be a part of that energy. You go in the store, smile with your eyes now because you can't with your mask over it, and just be people. Have fun. Send good vibes. Don't be like Cheyenne Bays, whatever you want to call her, because she ain't gonna have a good life as a professional now after being so unprofessional. Telling the girl I'll follow the bitch home. Well, shut up. You go to a donut store and get some food because you ain't gonna do nothing other than that. Sorry for my rant. Next. This is what happens when you get real Mike on the mic, baby. I get going. So next on the fight, we have Max Griffin versus Song Keenan. Man, this fight here, Max Griffin, dude. Do you have the video of that, T?
He's going right now, man.
Dude. Absolutely murdered the man. I mean, I guess he wanted fried rice for dinner, or he wanted some Korean barbecue. He wanted some bulgogi. He wanted whatever his opponent had on his plate because he took it. He ate it. He knocked that fool out so fast and made him look so soft. Shout out to Max Griffin. He's been through a lot. He's been through some wars with some real good fighters. I personally, it's hard for me to back him. I don't think I backed him on that one. Song Keenan, I thought was pretty tough. And dude,
I wanted to bet him. I didn't, but I did want to take him by KO. I told my boy before the fight. He said he liked what was the guy's name he fought?
Max Griffin, Song Keenan.
Yeah, he liked him, but I told him I figured Griffin would clean him.
Yeah,
I got heavy hands.
And it just is what it is. Max Griffin schooled the kid for a negative 165. That was some good money, man. And I hope any of you guys cash that you deserved it because it was a good call, man. I didn't see it happening quite like that. I thought maybe Max Griffin would win a 3-round affair and just kind of school the guy if possible, but it isn't what it was. But next up on the card of Vegas UFC Vegas 22. This will be the saddest moment of the entire show. My boy Gustavo Lopez fought Adrian Yanez, and I'll talk a lot of shit, and I have a big ass mouth, and I do it sometimes for fun. But I'm a really loyal friend, and I'm a real one. And I love you, Gustavo Lopez. I think you're a great person. I think you're a great friend. I still think you're a great fighter. I think that the game plan didn't happen to come through the way he wanted. I'd like to. I even told him in our interview, if you guys can go back, if he would have pushed Yanez against the cage and give him no space to strike, that would probably be the best game plan. I'm just an analyst, so I'm not here to criticize my friend and a fighter who's put his whole life on the line to get better, but. Shout out to Adrian Yanez, man. His striking, his switch stances, his striking was clean, dude. I can't hate on it at all. If it wasn't Gustavo Lopez, I would probably be shouting a little bit more good things about him. If it wasn't Adrian Yanez beating my boy Gustavo Lopez, I would be a little bit more high on Yanez at the moment. But Gustavo Lopez, I hope you heal well. I hope your family's good. I just keep training and pushing hard, and I know you'll be fine. So you're always welcome here on the MMA for Money show, and we'll have you here on shortly to talk about everything. Next up was Dontel Mays, plus 185 versus Tai Tuivasa, negative 225. Mr. Shuey himself. Man, finally, for the first time ever, Tai Tuivasa in a long time looked like a guy that had the talent that I thought he did, I mean, he wasn't fighting the biggest upper echelon fighters in the world, but in this matchup. But he came in there to kill that day. He came in there like the savage Islander that I wanted to see, and he straight laid pipe and laid that down. His money line was now obviously that would look real good. So shout out to Tai Tuivasa for finishing. Dontel Mays. I feel like that's he should have done that. For some reason, I'm glitching, and
mine was doing that. I think we're still running.
Either way, so this was, and that was the co-main event, and so now we're gonna move on to the main event, and that was Brunson versus Holland. Derek Brunson plus 145 versus Kevin Holland was net 165 at the time. This was a main event, folks, right? This was stupid. This was one of the worst main events that I've ever watched. I'm so disgusted with the professionalism that Kevin Holland displays. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. Are you fighting? Are you talking to people in the crowd? Do you want to be a pro fighter? I don't know, dude. I just don't get where his head's at all times. It's kind of sad and sickening to see someone that with that much talent really not take it serious. He's not taking it serious, 100%. I've said it in the past podcast before. The reason why I've been iffy to bet Kevin Holland a couple times is he doesn't take things seriously. I cannot put my heart and soul into a fighter when they don't take things seriously. Brunson, shout out to him. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but he did what I thought what a veteran should do. Push someone against the cage, hug him on the ground, do whatever you got to do to get that 5-round victory.
He did what he had to do. He couldn't have stood with Holland. It was evident when you watched it. He just couldn't stand with him. So you got to give him his props, though, man. I mean, get it done. He did what he had to do, man. Your wrestling is that good. It's that good.
Yeah, and so apparently Kevin Holland's going to drop down to 170, and that should be interesting. Shout out to Tippy, Super Tip Star in the chat. Absolutely love him. My brethren from Ireland, great dude and a great line reader himself. He always supports us. And shout out to Vince Guzman, my boy over there in Alhambra. Shout out to Costco. That's where he works. And then that was the main event, and that was the card. So sadly, I lost for the 2 picks that were on the show. I lost 0.45 units. It was what it was. If you followed my 2 other stupid bets that I put on my Twitter that night, I lost another 2 units. So
hey, Gustavo was on me. That's Mike didn't really want to bet that, but that was on me. I thought Gustavo was gonna hit the takedown. It just didn't work out, but it is what it is. But
it is what it is. We were plus 360 a week before, so we took a hit this week, negative 260. So we're still up. We're still fine. There've only been 2 shows where it's been T Money and the KOPE. So you just keep holding on and watching us, and we're gonna keep slaying. So now we can move on to this week's card, and it's to be honest, it's not very exciting. To just straight up be truthful.
I like the main card. It's decent, but I get you. It's not that great. I mean, it's good enough though.
Yeah, it's good enough it's going to be entertaining for us. But because it has Ngannou versus my boy Stipe, I'm absolutely thrilled to watch that fight because it's just that alone is entertainment value. So I'm going to go through the prelims on the UFC 260 Stipe versus Ngannou 2. I'll probably do some quick picks more than anything, but because we're going to get more into the main card. I just really don't like. The matchups just aren't that exciting. Number 1, we got Abu Azaitar. He's negative 105 at the time versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Marc-Andre Barriault 11-4. Abu Azaitar is 14-2-1. Marc-Andre Barriault striking 79% of the time. He prefers to strike, a 20% takedown rate. 61% striking most of the time for Abu and 38% takedown rate. Man, this is a weird one, man. Abu's 35, Mark's 31. They're both orthodox fighters. They're both just right at that level of just like, oh, are you even around? Like, why are you even here? I guess they need to fill a spot or something, And so I'm still having a hard time with this one. I'm going to go with Marc-Andre Barriault because I think the age is going to help him a little bit. But this is one of those ones that I'm not betting. I'm not touching. I don't recommend any one of you guys foxing with. So I would skip that one. The next up on the card, we got Jillian Robertson, Mrs. Red Hair, plus 140 versus Miranda Maverick at negative 160. Jillian Robertson, obviously this is once again lower class women's MMA. I mean, what can I say? I'm not going to tell you like, oh my God, this girl's got the best striking in the world. Oh my God, this girl jiu-jitsu is absolutely amazing. You got to go watch her this weekend. But the crazy thing that we have here is that Miranda Maverick just wants to strike. Jillian Robertson's is pretty much a takedown jiu-jitsu type dude or girl. Miranda Maverick is 10-2. She's a southpaw. I love southpaws. Anytime I get a southpaw versus an orthodox fighter, I usually favor that, especially in the striking situation. But in this situation with Jillian Robertson, her jiu-jitsu is a little bit underrated. And if she can get Miranda Maverick down, I really feel like she has a path to victory for a possible submission. But she has to get her down. And if she doesn't get Miranda Maverick down, Miranda is going to have her way with her striking because I just think that Miranda's striking is better than Jillian. But I'm going to go with Jillian Robertson by submission or possible decision. Could be boring or could be, like I said, a sub. Take that for what it is. Next up on the card, we have McCall Oleksiejczuk. I hope I did that nice. Negative 150 versus Modesta Bukaska, plus 130. This is another fight, man. I mean, what are they? The UFC is watering down our cards. I'm not gonna lie, bro. They're making like it's literally like, oh, we got 14 fighters we got to pay. Well, let's pay 10 of them as lower class fighters. We'll water down all those fights, and then we'll give you guys 2 good ones. And so this one is going to be, to me, it's more of it's a striker and a grappler but Michael Olejnik thinks he can strike too, but it's just not going to work that way, man. McCall is a southpaw. The fact that Modesta switched stances, I like that work ethic from Modestas. I think that he's got a better work rate. His heart is better. I think he's going to be bigger and stronger. So I'm going to be going with Modestas Bukauskas to win this one. He is an underdog here. So, if you like underdogs and you like money, I think that he is one of the ones that he can win here. And so we got next up on the card, we got what seems to be tricking everybody. It's Abdubakar Nurmagomedov, negative 169 versus Jared Gooden plus 141. Everyone is thinking like, oh, this is Khabib's brother. This is Khabib's this. I believe he just happens to have the same last name as Khabib, and that's going to always affect the line value in these fights.
Jared got Khabib in his corner too, and that's why a lot of people think that,
Yeah,
Khabib walk out behind him, and they like,
because he is from Dagestan, and they are close in the sense, but this isn't Khabib, guys. So don't get it twisted. Jared Gooden, very good striking, very underrated at that. 27 years old, orthodox. I believe he's sponsored by Best Fight Picks, Dan Levy over there. So shout out to him for backing his boy Jared Gooden. For Nurmagomedov being this big of a favorite, I don't like it. I think this is a troll here. I think that he shouldn't be this big of a favorite for his name. I don't think his record warrants him to be that big of a favorite. He hasn't beat really anybody. So I'm going to be going with the underdog, Gooden. I think he's well worth it. I think he's tough. He trains with some savages, and that plus 141, man. Dude, that's money all day. So I'll be dropping it on Jared Gooden is the one that is what I would pick. Next up on the card, we have Hannah Goldie, negative 120 versus Jessica Penney. Oh man, this is terrible. Women's MMA, terrible. Jessica Penney's been around forever. She's 38 years old. She hasn't fought in over 2 years. And she lost to Danielle Taylor. Danielle Taylor's not in the UFC anymore. That goes to show you how good she is, okay? Hannah Goldie, 5-1. She has really no experience. She's 28, sorry. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Hannah Goldie. I usually back the OG because they usually have more experience and they have more work ethic or they have a lot more skills. But I think Hannah Goldie's younger, stronger. I think Jessica Penney's nose is fragile. It's been injured many times. I think that she can get her nose injured, remember what it's like to be hit, end up on the ground. It'll probably be the most boring 3-round decision possible. I think that Hannah Goldie will win a 3-round decision. The only possible way I see Penny winning is a fluke armbar. Only possible way, but you guys can talk shit to me next week about that if you want. So the battle. Tippy says Penny Goldie is the battle of the only fans. I think, yeah, the fans only are probably the only ones that are gonna win, maybe in that one, and not even there. So, but yeah. So next up on the card, I was thinking about betting the Goldie by decision at plus 130. So if you can take that for what it's worth. I think it, money line probably is just as good. You're not getting much more value on the decision, but if you wanted to, the decision is where I'd go with Goldie, or the smarter play would just be her money line. But not betting lower cost women's MMA is probably the best bet. So don't do it. Now we have a fight that I actually like. This fight is going to be a lot of fun. Alonzo Menefield versus William Knight. 2 absolute specimen. I mean, dude, like, you don't want these guys next to your girl when they're drunk, right? Or when she's drunk. They'll take them, all of them. Your girl, my girl, everyone's girl. That's the type of bodies these guys got going on. I think that this spot, I think that Alonzo Menefield has underperformed a little bit. I'm really high on him. He's 9-2. Dude, the body on the dude, like I said, I don't want to get too LBGTQ, but I will get super homo on it. Look at the body on Alonzo Menefield. Like, Jesus, dude. Like, God bless it. Dude, like, it's just amazing. His body, his athleticism. He's 33 years old. William Knight's 32 years old. The strike, Alonzo Menefield striking 100% of the time. William Knight mixes it up 52% on takedowns, 32% striking, 15% submissions. So he likes to round it up a little bit more. But I just don't think that William Knight has foxed around with the level of competition that Menefield is. William Knight is a very good fighter. But when he's the bully, he does well. And so I just don't think William Knight's going to be the bully with Menefield this time. I think Alonzo Menefield is a big, strong brute. He's learned from his losses now. He's been here for a little bit. This is his chance at redemption. And I just think that he's going to win here. So I'm going to be going with Alonzo Menefield to win versus William Knight. And it's going to be a fun fight. And possibly both guys could end up gassing and fall on each other. So don't count that out because it definitely could happen. So sorry to breeze through that prelim, but we wanted to get through it. So once again, I'd like to thank every single one of you out live. We got 366 of you live viewing. I'd like to shout out every single one of you for being here with us. We'd also like to let you know that we're able to take sponsorships up to a minimum of $1 a month to help us keep going. To keep the show getting better and better, to have things progress as they go, because big things are to come for the MMAforMoney show. And we got some big sponsors coming, so you guys just stay tuned. Now, the main event or the main card for
that's where it gets good.
UFC 260. The reason we're here is finally about to begin. Well, the first fight of the night. We got a black belt in jiu-jitsu and Jamie Malarkey at plus 115 versus Kama Worthy, a purple belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu at negative 135. And as you know, at the MMAforMoney show, we've already cashed Kama Worthy. We cashed him at a plus 200 when he won in his debut fight. So it's not that we're not familiar with Kama Worthy. It's we're very familiar. He's 16-7. 50% striking, 49% submissions. 34 years old, though, is my problem, folks. 34. 26 years old is my boy, Jamie Malarkey. Jamie Malarkey's jiu-jitsu game is sick. It is absolutely nothing to play with. He's a black belt from the infamous Noah Magnus. Malarkey is absolutely in love with his sensei, and as he should be. And so I really believe the black belt in jiu-jitsu that Jamie Malarkey carries is far superior than the purple belt that Kama Worthy has. If this fight gets on the ground, it is going to be a wrap so fast it will not even be funny. This will be my first bet of the night. I'm throwing down on Jamie Malarkey to upset Kama Worthy at plus 115. I'm putting down 1 unit, so 1 unit will win 1.15 units. First bet of the night. Jamie Malarkey, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So let's go. What do you think, T?
Let's get it, man. I like this bet. When we looked it up, like we said, Malarkey, I think we'll have an advantage on the ground. Pretty thick dude. I think he can stand with Worthy. So if he can get him down, I think we could take that pretty easy. We'll see how it goes, though. Worthy's no pushover, so
we ain't saying
that's why the odds are what they are,
This is a pick 'em, folks. So this is almost as even as a coin toss. But the point is that I'm a big wrestling Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy and backer. I've wrestled in jiu-jitsu my whole life. I do always support those guys with the stronger base. Malarkey's jiu-jitsu and wrestling is superior than Kama Worthy's. I'm obviously going to have a little fear of the power of Kama Worthy in the beginning, but in the end of the day, for 3 rounds straight, I trust 3 rounds of Malarkey to either superiorly win a decision or dominate the jiu-jitsu so badly that he subs the kid, because the black belt to a purple belt is there's levels to this game, folks, and we're going to find out. So it should be very exciting this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a good fight, though. Excited to watch that one.
All righty, now we got some fun. We got Mr. Rainbow Riff Raff wannabe himself, Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean. I was actually a decent. I kind of liked him in the beginning, and then I fell off the train completely, and I'll tell you why. He's fighting Thomas Almeida, who's plus 260. Sean O'Malley is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Thomas Almeida is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Thomas Almeida has been in the UFC longer than Sugar Sean O'Malley. At one point, Thomas Almeida was 22-0 and one of the most exciting prospects to come up. I was actually one of the first people to bet against him. I bet Cody Garbrandt to put him out, and I was spot on, baby. But I feel like Thomas Almeida is being disrespected here. His jiu-jitsu game is far superior than Sean O'Malley's. His leg kicks are superior. If he hurts those little baby chicken legs, look at those calves. Look at those little legs. Look at those little ankles that Sugar Sean has over there.
He's coming off the foot.
He's coming off of
last fight.
His ankle. I don't even know. That's the thing. We don't even know. We don't even know. We don't even know what really happened, because all I hear is excuses from Mr. Sugar Sean himself. The same guy who goes on his podcast holding his newborn daughter, and he talks about how heroin is cool and you should try everything once. Let me tell you this. Never in my life am I backing anyone that thinks heroin's fucking cool. And I hope you've been doing heroin, Sugar Sean. I hope you've been sticking the needle every week, all right? I hope you've been taking all that sponsor money and making yourself real strong off the heroin, because that heroin ain't going to be helping your legs. Not a tad, not a bit. So you better be ready for Thomas Almeida to kick those little babies, because I'm telling you, negative 320, he ain't worth negative 320. There's not a way in hell I'm putting negative 320 down on Sugar Sean O'Malley, who when he walks,
he's a big fave coming off the injury, you know.
Dude, not even mentioned when he fought Sukumtoth, he almost lost the fight. He hurt his little baby ankle again. He was laying on his back on the ground. If the ref would have made him stand up, it would have been a loss for him. He won it by a decision in the end. Yeah, it was unanimous because he won the first 2 rounds. The third round, he was getting beat down. He was going to get beat down more. His little baby leg gave out. That was the first sign to me that his legs were weak. You know, and then Marlon Vera, he barely exposed it. That wasn't even the real exposure of those little legs. So I'm telling you, this weekend, do not be the sucker who puts money down negative 320 on Sugar Sean O'Malley, who's a purple belt versus a brown belt, and Thomas Almeida. If this gets to the ground, Almeida's easily got this as a tie and or better. So then what, you're relying on Sean O'Malley to do his famous striking? His striking while he's on his back? Ain't happening, folks. Thomas Almeida's my pick. I'm sticking with the OG. You can give me shit later, but I'll be here to get it. So I'm going with Thomas Almeida, the OG. What do you got, T?
I like it. I like it on that one. Like I said, O'Malley coming off the injury. You don't know what you're going to get. I hope he can check leg kicks, because, you know, that's becoming a trend. Everybody's hitting them leg kicks and fucking people up with those. So if his legs are a question, he might be in trouble, but we'll see. I mean, Sean's good, though, so.
Yeah, no.
He should be the fave, but I mean,
hey, you know, my brother War Machine was good too. You guys want to know where he is? 32 years to life. So good fighters sometimes they're dumb. So, you know, Sugar Sean reminds me of one of those dudes. Now, enough on my rant on him. Like I said, I can't stand it. I would never hold my baby and my boy in my arms and talk about how heroin's okay, and then think that other people in the future should see that. You're a fool. I hope your kid sees you one day and he laughs at what an idiot your dad is. Moron, scab eater, pus licker. Now, next up, what do we got here? Sorry, I got all crazy. There we go. Tyrone Woodley, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, D1 American wrestler, plus 215 versus Vicente Luque, brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Absolute stud, man. I'm not gonna lie. Vicente Luque is a pretty handsome mofo, dude. I mean, I'll get homo about it. He's a good looking dude. Not only is he good looking, his jiu-jitsu game is sick. The power in his hands is pretty devastating. I mean, he dropped Bilal Muhammad and put him down and made him drop, bro. Like, Bilal doesn't drop for nothing. The thing that I could never pick Tyrone Woodley anymore. He doesn't seem to be in this for the long haul, because he's already been the champ. Cares more about his rap career and or other things. I just don't know what Woodley you're gonna get. You know, if I knew that we were gonna get Woodley, if this was Woodley 7 years ago, for sure, this is Woodley all day. I would back him, but it's not. I don't even know what he's gonna do. I really don't. So I'm going with Vicente Luque. I don't like going against the OG Tyrone Woodley. If very possible that Tyrone Woodley could make me eat my words this weekend and he finally come back and get himself a win. Great fighter. Like I said, D1 All-American wrestler, former champion. I'm not taking away his accolades. I'm just talking about what have you done for me lately. Lately, you sucked, and I can't handle people sucking. All right, unless it's my lady at night, it's no good. So Vicente Luque.
How many has Woodley dropped? 3 in a row? Or is it 2?
Woodley's 2 in a row. 2 or 3.
That's what I was wondering, if it was 3 or 2.
It's like I said, I don't have that off the top of my head. I got too many things going on. Hey, Papa Prime, thank you for joining the chat. Always nice to see you. We love you and hope you're doing good and healing up. Mel B from Australia, always nice to see you as well, my love. I'll appreciate every single one of you guys that are in the chat. We have 394 of you guys in the chat. 3 in a row, Tyrone Woodley has lost. 3 in a row, folks. 3 in a row, baby. And so,
that's why you got them 200 odds.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. But I've talked about it before. The UFC and matchmaking is very, very good at getting us emotional and getting us putting matchups together where you're like, oh my God, this guy's on fire. He's going to do this. And then, it's the total opposite is what happens. So if this is the time where Tyrone Woodley comes in and actually, shows up, then God bless him and good for him. Hey, John, was it John Nokoff? Nice to see you at Lucky86. Pleasure to see you in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, so yeah, like I said, I'm going with Vicente Luque. It's just what I got to do, folks. And now the final fight of the night, baby, the main event, what I've been waiting for a long time, baby. Francis, the Predator, Ngannou, -120 versus Stipe, the firefighter, hero extraordinaire, Miocic, +100, the champion, being disrespected, being spit on. People are mocking him, saying he's old. He can't do it anymore. He's not training enough. I don't know. Are they right? They may be. Francis Ngannou, UFC loves him. Absolute specimen. UFC has plans to go to Africa. They need this guy. They need a group of UFC Africans fighters that they can bring over there and cause a big old stir. Francis Ngannou, yes, the first time they fought, got schooled. I bet Stipe. This time I feel like he's got enough time and experience in him. I feel like he's been working with the PI Performance Center in Vegas for years now. He special training and attention he's getting. I mean, they know what they got in this freak athlete. It's -120 Francis Ngannou. I don't know. I have to fire here. I just absolutely have to. I'm going to be putting down the 1.2 units on Francis Ngannou. The freak power and athleticism that Francis holds. I love me some Stipe. I love his wrestling. I know that he can win a 5-round war. Yes, he can. He could also be hit one time and dropped on the ground. Daniel Cormier knocked out my boy Stipe after an eye poke, I'll give him, but he still knocked him out, knocked him down, and finished him. Francis Ngannou was a whole nother level. King Kong himself would have problems with Ngannou. So I'm going with Francis Ngannou by absolute murder, devastation, just black on white crime, even though we don't want no crime. Everybody, all races, we love each other, but I just was trying to be funny, so don't hate. 100. Vicente Luque's 9,100. Nurmagomedov's 9,000. Miranda Maverick 8,800. Omar Morales is 8,700. Worthy is 8,600. McCall is 8,500. Ngannou is at 8,400. Hannah Goldie 8,300. Mark Barrial at 8,200. William Knight at 8,100. Menefield 8,100. Azatar 8,000. Jessica Penny 7,900. Stipe at cheap 7,800. Modestas Bukaska 7,700. Jamie Malarkey, my boy, 7,600. Jillian Roberts 7,400. Jared Gooden 7,200. Tyrone Woodley 7,100. And the cheapest person on the card, 7,000, is Thomas Almeida. If you guys stay tuned to my Twitter at Don't Cope Just Win. Stay tuned to the MMA for Money show Twitter. I'll post a DraftKings lineup there for you on most likely Friday after the weigh-ins when I see a little bit of the face-to-faces, see how sucked up these fighters look. Once again, I can't appreciate all 414 of you live watching me and my boy T. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us, talking some MMA. We wouldn't be anything without you guys. I hope that each and every one of you guys stay safe. I hope your families are blessed. And with that, let's roll.